There's a little town down on Galveston Bay where the people come fishing and the dolphins play. Pelicans and seagulls and shrimpers galore. Big red snappers make you come back for more. Water's kinda muddy, but what are you gonna do when every river in the south flows down to you? It's a city that never dies. Heat waves, hurricanes, and fire in the sky. It's a town that's gonna do worldwide things, 'cause God's got some people there pulling strings. God's got some people there pulling strings. Texas City, yeah.
Everybody, and welcome to Texas City Stingery football. Ronnie Hazard along with Dennis John set to bring you another weird week of Saturday football.
Saturday Night Lights.
Man, oh man.
Just doesn't sound the same, does it?
No, it doesn't. Texas City Stingery is about to take on the Fort Bend Bush Broncos here at Mercer Stadium. Stings come in with a 4-2 overall record, 3-0 in district as they come onto the field. Fort Bend Bush 2-4 overall, 1-2. But Dennis, that one was a big win last week.
Well, I tell you what, it's turned into a crazy district. You got last week, like you say, right here. Actually, it was on Root Sports on TV on a Thursday night. This team right here, Bush Broncos, took down the Marshall Buffaloes last week, and so it's kind of turned in. And then last night, or actually this Thursday night, you have Elkins taking down Rich Point. So
exactly,
everybody's got a loss except for Texas City at this point.
There is one team standing with a goose egg on the loss side, and that is your Texas City Stingeries. That's exactly right. And they hope to keep that alive tonight. Always got to be a different kind of routine when you, especially after all these years of playing Friday nights, and all of a sudden, boom, you're on a two. Actually, this is the second Saturday game that the Stingeries have had to play. It'll be the last one. I can guarantee you the last one of this year until
of the regular season.
Of the regular season. Thank you.
All right, good deal.
That's exactly right. We'll take a break for the national anthem and be back with the kickoff in just a minute. Captains meeting at the center of the field for Texas City. Number 8, Cobray Adams. Number 68, Mauricio Zamora. Number 80 is Isaac Hara. And I missed that last one.
For the Broncos, they're sending out number 9, Alexander Wade. Number 11, Timmy Nowo. Number 7 is Otis Lanier. Number 32 is Robert Kelly.
And I apologize, number 41, Jahara Reeves, is the 4th captain for the Stings. Texas City won the toss. They'll defer.
Yeah, just kind of some crazy mix-up in the district. You know, you really, it's almost stacking up. You really don't know exactly what you're looking at from week to week because these teams have kind of been back and forth. You know, looking at that Elkins team from a couple of weeks ago, Elkins now stands at a 6-1 record overall. Now their record in district is 3-1. The only loss coming to Texas City, and then going. You know, you saw these guys on TV just the other day. Bush and Marshall going at it. I mean, that was a great game too. So you know, at first you thought that Ridge Point was the echelon, and then everybody else is kind of playing for second place, but it doesn't seem that way anymore. And just like they say, you play the game to play the game any Friday night.
Exactly. That's why you play the game.
Depends on who's on their game.
Yeah. Bush beat Marshall, like we said, 28-22 last week. Texas City coming off a 29-22 win over the Tours from Ball High. Trevor Pickett will be kicking off for Texas City as we get this game underway here in just a little bit. Another great fall in on the Gulf Coast, almost 80 degrees here at kickoff. As Pickett picks it down to about the 8-yard line.
Taken by Otis Lanier. Lanier is the workhorse. He has the room. He's at midfield. He's going to be knocked out of bounds all the way across midfield. They're going to mark him at the 45-yard line.
And the kicker, Trevor Pickett, is the one who knocked him out of bounds for the Stings.
Huge return for the workhorse, Otis Lanier. He's 31 catches and 452 yards on the season. Averages right at 15 yards a catch. Has 3 touchdowns on the season as well. He is pretty well the go-to guy in the air. You'll see Bush Broncos putting the ball in the air. We say that. We'll start off saying that. So that way they're going to run the ball.
Exactly.
It always happens. But look for the Broncos to put the ball in the air as they come into tonight's contest with 447 yards rushing and a little over 1,000 yards passing on first down. Pass does go caught by number 15 at the 39-yard line.
Christian Weaver with the stop.
Dante Donahue.
Play stopped. You got an official
Timeout already.
I think we had a little knot in the chain.
Yep. That pass good for 6. Fixing to put it back in play. 2nd down and 4 for the Broncos. Quarterback is Wade Freeman. Freeman is a sophomore. Puts that ball out in the flat, far side flat. Caught, and that'll be a first down. Gain of about 9.
Brandon Edmonds on the stop for the Stings, but not before the chains move.
Wade Freeman, 2 for 2 already tonight. 2 plays, two completions. Freeman will keep. Little jukes and jive, turns it upfield, is able to pick up about 3 or 4 yards down to the 26.
Xavier Woodkin slows him down enough for Dante Hayes to come in and make the final stop.
On the option read is number 5, the quarterback, Wade Freeman.
Looked to be a run all the way. And also looks like Freeman has the wheels and the moves to keep the Tech City defense honest. Tech City's defense being pretty aggressive over the last few weeks. Again, draw play, quarterback draw. He's going to put this up. And well defended.
That's Christian Weaver doing a nice job tipping that ball out.
Cortland Neal, the intended receiver. And tell you right there, you see a little bit of Wade's versatility. Wade Freeman's versatility. Going to keep that defense honest tonight. Little quick out. Going to net about 2 yards as they cross the 25-yard line down. Actually, we'll call it a gain of 3. Going to mark it at the 22-yard line, 23-yard line.
Torque Cooper on the stop.
Brings up 4th down, 4th and 3 for the Broncos. 4th and long 3 for the Broncos. Big 4th down here, going for it early.
Oh,
nice tip, batted down.
That's Xavier Woodkins getting the paws up in the air and knocks the pass down.
Nice job. Very definitely coming in and stopping on the 4th down and create a turnover on downs for Texas City.
Texas City offense will come on the field now for the first time tonight. CJL, number 14, quarterback for the Stings. Jarvis Ford standing right behind him. Ford gets the calls, got some room around that far side at the 30, and he'll go down there.
Chris Thomas on the stop.
7 yards on the first down carry. It'll be 2nd and 3 for Texas City.
Jarvis Ford.
Yale going to keep it, coming to the near side. He'll have the first down.
Had a block on the corner, cut up just a little too soon, but he still got the first down. Nice job.
Up to the 40 on the carry.
Texas first down of the game.
Simpson sidesteps the tackler at the line of scrimmage, and or actually behind the line, he'll actually get a yard on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Alexander Wade, the first one to meet him there.
On the run was number 6. Xavier Simpson.
Broncos with the 5-man front, trying to shut down that Texas City rush inside. Got movement on the offense. Going to be back them up 5 yards.
To make it 2nd and 14. Simpson breaks a tackle, almost gets the 5 yards back.
Tell you what, Simpson, nice job. Was wrapped up immediately. Does a nice job of wiggling out. Alexander Wade again makes a stop. 5-yard gain for Simpson.
3rd and 10. Adams out wide to the far side. Frank here to the near side on 3rd and long. 3rd and 10 for Texas City from under center. The pitch goes to Simpson.
Wow.
Gets out of one.
They were shut down
Bronco,
very quickly.
That's right, but not out of the next 2. It's going to be a loss of 3.
Simpson, when he caught the pitch, already had a man in the backfield. He had to dodge the man, and when he did, pursuit caught up with him pretty quickly. Stings will punt this one away.
That'll bring Cooper onto the field. Stingery punter.
Cooper gets a nice punt away. Caught at the 20-yard line. About a 43-yard punt for Cooper.
So both teams have had one shot on offense. Broncos with a little bit more success, but stopped on turnover on downs, and now here they go, 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Wade Freeman from a shotgun has Cortland Neal in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the near side. Ball is tipped up.
Oh, Dante Hayes.
Oh.
Nice job getting a hand up in the air.
Hayes had his eye on the quarterback the whole time as he was being blocked. Saw the receiver behind him, tried to tip that thing up. The same situation on a Saturday night just a few weeks ago.
Ah, yes.
Took one of those to the house. From really kind of deja vu all over again, almost. 2nd and 10. Man in motion comes across. Freeman's going to keep it himself and pick up about 6 up to the 26.
Texas City's Devontae Taylor. on the stop. Taylor, a sophomore for the Stings. 3rd and 5.
And we've got, looks like going to be offsides, and that'll be a free, free 5 yards and a first down.
Encroachment on the defense. Number 75. Line-up penalty. First down.
So fresh set of downs for the Broncos. Freeman again, draw play. Stutter steps. Is able to step aside one tackle. They catch up with him after a gain of 6. Across that front line of the defense. Strong end, number 36, Dante Hayes. Strong tackle, number 75, Andre Smith. Quick tackle, number 44, Torque Cooper. Quick end, number 99, Charles Hawkins. Sam linebacker, backer, number 9, Xavier Woodkins. Rover is Ralph Anderson, number 3. Mike linebacker is Trenton Murphy, number 7. Will linebacker, number 1, Jarvis Ford. Looking to pass. Has his man, broke open and just looking into the sun. Not sure if that made a difference, but just didn't quite look it into his hands.
Brandon
the ball was
Edmonds
there.
was there, but receiver had a step.
Corners, number 12, Brandon Edmonds. Free safety, Zach Henry, number 15. And right corners, number 2, Christian Weaver.
That'll bring up third down and 5.
Tell you what, Weaver put that one right where you want it. Third and 5. Neal goes in motion. And now Weaver stops. He's going to air this one out again. And just incomplete. Intended for Otis Lanier.
2 Sting defenders there, but again, Lanier had a step, just couldn't get to it. Zach Henry and Christian Weaver were the defenders for Texas City. That'll bring up 4th down. Weaver will go back, anticipating the punt, standing at about his own 25-yard line.
High snap. Snap is handled. A nice floating punt. Put in the air.
We were going to let it do its thing, and the ball will be down at the 28.
Got a 34-yard punt for the Broncos, and the Stings will take over for the second possession of the half. We're at 5:20 left in the first quarter. Broncos have had 2 possessions. Texas City 1 as we begin Texas City's second possession of this first half here at Mercer Stadium.
CJL back in at quarterback, the freshman for the Stings. Pitching to Jarvis Ford here on the near side, trying to get outside. Breaks one tackle across the 35 down to gets up to the 37.
Ford does a nice job of staying on his feet after the initial contact. Brought down by Chris Thomas. But not before a nice gain of 8 yards up to the 37-yard line.
They're going to give him 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
All right, we'll take 9.
Yale takes the snap. Toss out to the far side. Jared Hernandez has got it. Was out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
Brendan Smith, junior linebacker, takes him down, but not after a Texas City Sting first down.
Sting's ready to go. Yale looking to the sideline, getting the signal from the bench. Adams goes in motion. He'll get the toss from Yale. Adams will go out of bounds shy of the midfield stripe at the 48. Good gain of a couple.
Number 8, Cole Reed. Adams.
Texas City fans over there just looking right into the sunshine.
Well, like I said,
Nice
nothing
6 o'clock start.
Nothing unusual for them. In Texas City, you're doing the same thing, right? Just an hour.
Just earlier. The hour makes a difference, I think.
2nd and 8 for the Stings. Ford gets the call and nowhere to go. He'll lose 3 yards on the 2nd down play. It's going to make it 3rd and 11.
Rashad Powell found his way in the backfield. Tell you what, that's a load right there. Powell, nice tackle in the backfield. Loss of 3. Texas having to put something together here with a long 3rd down looking at.
Stings with 4 wide receivers here on the near side. Yell in the backfield by itself. Going to take it and run this way. It's across the 45, cuts it up, and is going to go out of bounds at around the 50-yard line, about 5 or 6 yards shy of the first down.
Couldn't quite make the cut.
On the quarterback, Keith.
That's going to bring up 4th down.
CJ Yale.
4th and 6 from midfield for the Stings. That'll bring Cooper and the punt team on. No rush. Cooper with plenty of time.
Nice run back again. Otis Lanier, the go-to guy, the senior on the team, takes that ball as it takes a high, friendly bounce from the 9 all the way up to the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. So Bush really putting themselves in some pretty decent position with the return game already tonight twice. Here's the 3rd possession. Kickoff. They returned it back to the 45-yard line. And now they have it at the 26. Both drives have produced a 1st down each. Actually, all 4 drives. Texas City 2 drives and Bush 2 drives. All have had 1 first down, but stalled after the 1st down. Under center this time, Freeman gives to Neal, and Neal hits a brick wall in that left side of the line.
That's right. I believe that was Jarek Charles. First stingery there. Actually going to give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Gain of 2. Second down and 8. And Freeman overthrows. Really no chance for either receiver or defender to get to that ball. Just overthrew him a little bit.
Christian Weaver, the defender, right there with him.
Bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Freeman comes in to tonight's game completing 45 of 87 passes. Just over 50%, 628 yards on the season. Has a couple of touchdowns and a couple of interceptions as well. See what they have up their sleeve for 3rd down, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8. And they're going to have to call a timeout. Coach Aldridge wants to check his offense and see what he can do with it. We're going to take a break. No score here at Mercer Stadium. We've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Alan Aldridge, head coach here of the Bush Broncos, spent some time of his own on the football field. Played here at Willow Ridge in the district. Played for the Houston Cougars for a little bit. Went on to play And got him a Super Bowl ring. I'm just going to check and see with the binoculars if he wears that during the game. I'd like to see that. Man in motion is Lanier. He's the go-to guy. Comes out to the split to the near side. Weaver looks, got pressure. Ball is just through the hands of Lanier. Had the distance. I think Lanier caught himself looking at the sideline, trying to see if he was going to be able to get it down or not. Took his eye off the ball just a tad, enough for the distraction, for the incomplete pass.
Christian Weaver defending, but again, went through the hands of 4th down. Weaver will go back, standing inside his own 40, expecting the punt.
Bush's first 3 and out, like I say, both previous possessions had at least a first down.
Pick it up.
Dropped. And there we go. Texas City with the first
right
break of the night as the punter just couldn't handle the snap, went to the ground. Alex Steele right there for Texas City, but turnover on downs gives Texas City the ball, 1st and 10 at the Bush 18-yard line.
Bush comes into tonight, 15 fumbles. They've lost 6 of them. Of course, you're comparing that to Texas City, who's fumbled 26 times and lost 11. Now, last week, they only had 1, only lost 1.
Getting better.
Getting better.
CJL brings the offense back on the field. Ford will come out wide of the near side, 2 guys in the slot. Hit Frank and Adams. Yell, throwing it downfield, got it. Carlos Frank with the touchdown. 18 yards. Yell to Frank for the first 6 of the night.
Just a little route. I tell you what, Carlos Frank had to think about that ball for a while. There's nobody in his area. Those are the hardest to catch.
I hate those,
there's nobody
man.
around.
That's right.
Catches it, turns around, has a couple of steps into the end zone. And finally, with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first period clock, Texas City hits pay dirt.
Yell to hold for Trevor Pickett's extra point attempt. Yell does a good job of getting it down. Pickett has it up, and it's good. 2 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the first quarter. Texas City takes the first and early lead of the night, 7-0. We'll be right back. Pickett with the ball on the tee, set to kick off after Texas City with the touchdown and extra point takes the lead here in the first quarter, 7-0.
Otis Neal on the near hash, and that's where the kick goes. Over his head, he'll take it all the way back to the 1 yard line, and Lanier, the full head of steam, hits the 25, the 30. He's at the 40, 45, got flags in the middle of the field. And again, Lanier brings it all the way back. Officials look at the 49-yard line.
Holding the early signal.
So because of the penalty, which that's one thing I've seen so many penalties on kickoffs this year, high school, college, and definitely junior high. There have been so many penalties. That erases a huge return as the Broncos were looking 1st and 10 just outside of midfield. And now he's going to put them all the way back at the 30, which is still not a horrible spot, but still. Dropped them back 19 yards from where they would be. And that's where they'll take over for their 4th possession of the night. Texas City making quick work of the gimme inside the red zone. 1 play, 19-yard pass. Weaver flips the ball, has a grip, eludes one defender. Now he's going to throw a strike down the field to a wide open receiver at midfield. Not going to give him credit for his forward progress, but they'll take it at the 47-yard line.
Devontae Taylor putting pressure on him in the backfield, but nice job of getting away and completing
Basically,
the pass.
Got that penalty yard back right there on one play.
Exactly.
And a big first down for the Broncos. Again, their 4th possession. Tell you what, Weaver put a hum on that ball. Ball goes to Neal up the middle. Neal is hit at the line of scrimmage and squirms away and falls forward for about a yard, just shy of midfield.
Cooper slows him down, finished off by Sheldon McKenzie.
Clock down under a minute 25 here left in the first quarter. Texas City 7-0. Just took advantage of a short field to put points on the board. Other than that, yardage has been very tough for either team to gain here.
That's exactly right. I said McKenzie. I apologize. That was Andre Smith on the stop for Texas City. 2nd and 8.
Freeman. I think I've been calling him Weaver, but Freeman puts it out in the flat, complete to DeMarco Grice for a gain of 5.
Jarrett Charles, the first white jersey there for Texas City.
Brings up 3rd down and 4. Probably get this play off as there are about 30 seconds left. Wade Freeman, the quarterback, sophomore, flips the ball in his hands, looking, he's going to put this one up. It's going to be knocked away.
It's Christian Weaver. Weaver getting plenty of action back there tonight. Does another nice job.
And tell you what, you can do a lot of things right there. That ball was in Weaver's hands. He could have brought it down as a possible interception, but did a nice job of just knocking it out of the way. As you've seen previously, no telling what will happen on a punt. Could get a bad snap, could get a bad kick, could get a run back.
Weaver standing on his own 10.
Gets this one high.
Oh,
nice kick.
Going to let that one go, and it's going to take a Bush bounce just almost straight up and down at the 11-yard line.
Now he looks back and says, well, I should have intercepted that ball.
Texas City with 8 seconds to play with before the end of the first quarter. 1st and 10 at their own 11. Stings are up 7-0 on the yell to Frank. Touchdown pass from 18 yards out. Jared Hernandez in the backfield. Yell's going to keep it. Got a little bit of room. He'll get up to the 15, and that'll be it. And that'll be the end of quarter number 1. We've played 1 quarter here at Mercer Stadium. Texas City 7, Fort Bend Bush nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a second. Texas City with a 2nd and 6. Pitch to Jarvis Ford coming to the near side, looking for some room. Not much there. He'll cross the 15 and get up to about the 17.
The Broncos do a nice job of pursuit on that play. They had the whole, they had a wall all the way to the sideline for Ford having to look for a place to cut it up. And he does a nice job picking up a few yards on the play.
He does.
Brings up a 3rd and 3 for the Stings here. Ball still inside the Bush 20.
Tort Cooper.
Inside their own 20, sorry.
George joins Hernandez and Ford in the backfield. Yell under center. Cooper gets the call, spins off a tackle. He has the first down and some more. 35 and goes down at the 37-yard line.
For Tort Cooper.
Yes, it was.
Call that 20 yards for big number 44.
Nice job by the left side of the Stingery line. Excuse me, the Stingery line. First down for the Stings. Adams comes out, split wide here on the near side. Ford in the slot. Carlos Frank on the far side. Yell looking to throw to the far side. Carlos Frank is in and out of the hands of the defender.
Thought it was intercepted once and then twice. In and out of the hands of, I thought Timmy Nawal had it. Bounced out of his hands and almost into Chris Thomas's hands. Going back and looking at that run, Ronnie, the 20-yard run for Tort Cooper. As the and I lost my place. You would think that's his. Of course, it's his longest run of the season.
2nd and 10 for the Stings. Adams goes in motion. Pitch out to Jarvis Ford. Ford trying to find some room around the outside. It's across the 40 up to about the 43.
Going back to look, that's, to me, I only see one carry in the books for -2 yards. It's only Cooper's second carry of the season. So he put his average way up there with that carry.
Go. That's right.
He's averaging 9 yards a carry.
Gain of 5 makes it 3rd and 5 for Texas City from their own 43. Early here in the second quarter, Stings with the 7-0 lead. Yale fires it here to the near side to Carlos Frank. Gets away from a defender. It's at the 50. He's got the first down, and he'll go down in Bush territory. We're going to mark it at the 45.
Nice move by Carlos Frank. Makes the first man miss because that was a no-gainer there.
Yes, it was.
Makes the first man miss and picks up 13 and a first down.
Stings ready to go quickly. And we've got whistles just as the ball is snapped. It looks like Bush has asked for a timeout. We'll take the break. 9:51 to play in the first half. Stings on top, 7-0. 1st and 10 for Texas City after the Bronco timeout. Stings in Bush territory at the 45-yard line. Travis Yell on the distance for the Stings at quarterback. He's going to keep it, follow behind the block of Jarvis Ford, trying to get outside, but he won't get there. No gain on the play.
Run for the Stingrays, number 14, Brandon Smith. Tackle by number 14, C.J. Gale.
Second and 10. Texas City sends Carlos Frank out wide here to the near side with Adams in the slot. Jarvis Ford gets the call. He'll get 3 down to the 42. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for Texas City.
Just watching Bush line up, man coverage, press man coverage right on the line just gives me great memories of a few years ago when they would line up, if they ever lined up fairly close to the line of scrimmage. Had one of the Foreman boys. You could just throw the ball out there and let him just go catch it.
That's true.
Ball's on the ground. Looked like Yale trying to get the ball.
Yale was trying to get it into the breadbasket of Ford. Ford wasn't expecting it. It went on the ground, but Yale alertly falls on it. It'll bring up 4th down.
Right, yeah, like you say, fortunately for Texas City, that's a fumble that they recover.
That'll bring on the punt team, Torque Cooper.
And the always dangerous Otis Lanier goes back, standing at his 10. Cooper gets a line drive away.
Taking a Texas City roll. And down at about the 8-yard line by Christian Weaver.
No harm there.
No.
As long as it's not in the hands of number 7, we're good to go. Broncos take over at their own 9-yard line.
Nice job.
Yes.
Trying to get that down. I believe that's Smith. Yes. Number 75 for the Stings, Andre Smith.
Cortland McNeil with the carry.
Loss of a yard will make it 2nd and 11.
On the uphill side, Texas City makes a good defensive stand here. Hopefully give them another short field, flip this field. Sting corners playing off the receivers. Giving them a little wiggle room underneath, and that's basically what Bush is going to take advantage of. A little short out right there.
Immediately brought down by Christian Weaver at the 12-yard line.
Gain of 6.
Tackled by number 2, Christian Weaver.
Third and 4 for the Broncos.
Tell you what, Freeman's been getting rid of the ball pretty quick as well. He's very elusive, and he gets rid of the ball. So that rush of the Stings have not really been a major factor. He's been able to get rid of the ball get the ball out of his hands pretty quick. And here comes some of that rush. He's going to scramble outside the pocket. And now he's going to put this one up at a wide open. Nobody around. He drops it at the 40-yard line. Oh, my goodness. 15 yards. The closest defender. As Freeman had come up.
He was getting pressure from Isaiah Swede. And
possibly looked like a run. And the secondary basically bit on the run.
Boy, and I thought they started a little early. I was looking for a flag at the line of scrimmage, but it didn't happen. Like they had left a little early, but no flag. That'll bring up 4th down.
He did get a flag on the sideline. I did not see the call. Through the past line of scrimmage. So it makes the kid not feel as bad for dropping because it wouldn't have been any good. I mean,
does it?
You got to look at both ends of this. I guess, don't you?
Yeah,
I would. Punting from about 5 yards deep in his end zone. Snap is there. High kick. This one's going to land out of bounds. Right across midfield. They're going to mark it at the 48.
47, 48-yard line. Hell, he's still moving. 47 looks like. Stings will get it with 6:11 to play in the half, on top 7-0 at the Bronco 48-yard line.
I think that was Bush's first penalty, wasn't it? That the first penalty of the night on the Broncos?
I believe so. CJL brings the team back on the field for the offense for Texas City. Jarvis Ford will be the lone man in the backfield. Actually split off is Sendejas this time. Jesse Sendejas, number 34. Ford gets the call, dodges the tackle. He's going to have it. Nobody going to catch Jarvis Ford. Touchdown, Texas City from the 47-yard line.
He ran that ball straight up the gut.
Yes, he did. Sidestepped one would-be tackler right at the line of scrimmage, and that was it. 47 yards and 6 more on the board for Texas City. Texas City ready for the extra point tip, swing it over. Now they're going to go for 2. Yell gives it to Ford. Ford is met at the line of scrimmage, and we'll see where the scrum ends him. No call yet, and
he's got to be in there somewhere.
Nice.
There you go.
Second and third efforts by the offensive line and Jarvis Ford.
It looked exactly like you said, like a scrum. I did not see not one player wasn't involved on that play. Everybody was there.
Nice job, Texas City, with a 2.603 to play in the first half. Texas City extends the lead 15-0 over the Broncos. We'll be right back. Trevor Pickett set to kick off after the Jarvis Ford touchdown run puts Texas City on top.
And the receivers have all moved up looking for the pooch, and there it is.
A couple of missed tackles and finally going down at the 37-yard line.
Is that Jarrett Charles making the stop?
I believe it was, yes.
Rather emphatically.
Yes.
Be the 6th possession of the night for the Broncos as they start this possession at their 37-yard line. Texas City making a habit out of scoring on one-play drives.
Right, that's exactly right. Had a 19-yard touchdown pass for the first score, and then the 47-yard run by Jarvis Ford on the first play from scrimmage in that last possession.
Freeman from the shotgun, the middle misdirection, and actually very fortunate are the Broncos as the ball in the breadbasket of Justin Harper does a little bobble, and then he's hit immediately.
Trenton Murphy on the stop for Texas City.
Loss of 2 on the play. Back to the 36-yard line. Clock down to 5 minutes and 36 seconds here in the second quarter. Texas City with a 15-0 lead. Been rather interesting how they've scored, like you said, Ronnie. From the shotgun. Freeman gives again to his tailback, Justin Harper. Harper tries to find a way to cut it up, but just can't.
Dante Hayes got in his way and made the stop. An assist to Torque Cooper.
Brings up third down. Harper comes out, and Cortland Neal comes back in. And looking over this Bush roster, they're pretty young. Have a lot of juniors and a lot of sophomores that are contributing, much like Texas City.
Right.
Sophomore quarterback, another quarterback that has been used is Clark. He's also a sophomore. Man in motion is the go-to guy. And Freeman wants to go long, but he just out of bounds.
Weaver right there with him step for step.
Sean Thomas, the intended receiver, again a sophomore.
That'll bring up fourth down. Stingery defense has held again.
And you can talk about the Sting defense pretty well first half. They've only allowed 1 first down on any of the drives. Actually, only 2 drives. 3 drives resulted in a first down. And this one, punt off the side of his foot, is going to be ruled out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Stings will have some pretty decent field position.
Yes, they will, with 4 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the first half.
Talk about the defense again. First possession, Stings allow only about 22 yards. They gain Bush gains a first down, and then you have the turnover on downs from the bad snap. Next possession, they're able to get only 1 first down and punt it. Next possession is a 3 and out. Next possession is 4 and out. Next possession, 6 out, and this one's a 3 and out. So Stings defense has been doing a good job of making stops. No possession has been over 23 yards.
Texas City ready to go. Yell takes a snap, gives it to Ford. Ford on that left side of the line again, gets a couple up to the 37.
On the tackle for the Broncos, number 65, Samuel Azzi.
2nd and 8. Ford, it's his number called again. He'll get a couple to the 40. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Tough yards for Ford. Wanted to try to bounce that one outside, had to cut it up.
Got a timeout. Looks like Texas City going to call the timeout with 3:28 to play in the half. We'll take the break and be right back. Stings on top, 15-0. After the timeout, Texas City looking at a 3rd and 5 from their own 45.
Looks like they come back with just about the same formation. 2 tight ends. 1 split.
Ford running back behind Yell. Ford gets the call, trying to bounce outside, cuts it up at the 40. He's going to get up to the 43 and be a couple of yards shy of the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th and 2.
That actually is the Stings' first 3 and out.
Cooper to punt. No rush.
Gets away a nice high
Yes.
kick.
Fair catch is called for. Ball's on the ground, but he falls back on it quickly at the 27-yard line. That's where the Broncos will have it at their own 27 with 2:48 to play in the half.
Well, like I say, Ronnie, that's the first time that the Stings had faced 3 and out. Of course, you know, they have had a couple of one-play drives.
I was going to say, if they don't do it in one play, they just don't do it, huh?
So far tonight, you're right.
Wow.
You got a point. Broncos' 8th play of the half, 8th drive of the half, 8th possession here. Begins with 2:48 left in the half. Stings on top, 15 to nothing. Neal, the ball carrier.
Zach Henry and Trenton Murphy make the stop, make the initial hit, and then Trenton Murphy finishes it off. We've got a stingery down.
Neal ran a good bit of yards, but picked up a couple. And we'll take a break here. We're in injury timeout. Injured Sting was Torque Cooper.
Walks off on his own.
That's good to see. So 2nd down and 9. Little misdirection play. Going to be knocked down in the backfield.
Trenton Murphy with the stop. Senior linebacker has come on the last several games for Texas City.
Justin Harper just not able to get ahead of steam. Lost the yard back to the original line of scrimmage at the 28. And now we've got a Texas City timeout.
Both teams back on the field after Texas City calls the timeout with 2:05 to play. Cervic and the Stings probably just hoping to maybe get a stop and get the ball back one last time. They're up 15 to nothing.
Freeman bobbles the snap. It's on the ground. He's able to pick it up. Now put it in the air. And it's going to be wide to the left. Incomplete. Oh, he's going to get nervous when a quarterback fumbles the ball like that and then is able to get away with the throw because a lot of times you got eyes in the backfield and your receiver or your defenders, you know, respond to it. So always kind of makes me nervous. That one falls harmlessly out of bounds.
Christian Weaver standing back at his own 35-yard line. Snap on the ground, but handled cleanly. Line drive kick takes a bounce past Weaver. He's going to pick it up at the 18-yard line. Crosses the field trying to find some room, cuts it up. He'll go down at the 22. So Texas City will have 1:42 to work with. Look like they're going to spot it at the 23.
Could use one of those one-play drives about now.
Yell takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and now rolls out this way to throw. He's got a man open, caught at the 30 and goes down right there. That's Anthony Salazar.
Pass is complete to number 32, Anthony Salazar.
8 yards on the pass from Yale to Salazar, makes it 2nd and 2. Snap
Ball's on the ground.
Yale. Ball never got to Yale. He alertly falls forward and falls on the ball back at the 29-yard line. Clock running under a minute now.
Already up to third down, third and 4. Just want to get a first down, at least to keep from having to give it back to the Broncos.
Yell looks to hand it off and nobody there, so he'll keep it. Ball's on the ground. Picked up by the Broncos. Just
exactly
what you didn't want.
Just what you didn't want, just to be able to finish this out. Get into halftime with the score of 15-0.
So the Broncos will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Texas City 20 with 36 seconds to play in the half. Yell took that snap and went to hand it off to Ford, and Ford was nowhere to be found.
The Stings with 3 fumbles on the night and 1 turnover. Back-to-back fumbles. And like I say, kind of the way things were turning, you just say, hey, let's get it into the locker room. So now the defense is going to be called upon here. 36 seconds, and the Broncos have 1 timeout.
Timeout being called by the Broncos.
And they call their timeout. So they don't have one left. So most likely you're going to see them take some shots to the end zone. And we'll take a quick break with them. Be right back with the last 36 seconds of the half. Well, with 36 seconds left on the clock, the Broncos are as close as they've been all night. Coming out of their last timeout, they have no timeouts left on the clock. Wade Freeman from the shotgun. 3 steps, looks. Going to be flushed out of the pocket, hit, and incomplete. As he threw the ball, was hit.
Charles
Hawkins.
Hawkins makes the hit on the quarterback, and the ball falls harmlessly right in the middle of the field.
That play took, oh, wow, unbelievably 5 seconds off the clock.
Pass was deflected by number 99, Charles Hawkins.
We are at Mercer Stadium. Of course, it's not any better at Texas City.
Oh, Lord. We haven't had to reset the clock tonight.
I was going to say, there'd probably be another minute put back on the clock at Texas City.
2nd and 10 for the Broncos.
Stings giving a big cushion. Giving about 10 yards cushion.
Play clock goes to 0 as the
receiver.
flag comes out. Delay of game going to be called against the Broncos.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense, number 5, 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
And
2nd down.
been fairly clean. That's the Broncos' only 2nd penalty of the half. Comes at a tough time for them. Lanier, the man in motion, comes across. This one's put into the end zone. Going to be out of bounds. Uncatchable. They're intended for Timinowo.
Going to bring up a 3rd and 15 with 25 seconds left in the half.
Does that mean anything? White bird
I don't
flying
know.
across the field?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Hope it's not like the rabbit from a few years for the baseball team. All right, 3rd down. Weaver looks. Now he puts this one up. Tipped
Nice
away.
job. Brandon Edmonds on the defense for Texas City. Slaps it away about 8 yards deep in the end zone. That will bring up 4th down.
Broncos sending in the field goal unit.
.41-yard attempt, but the Broncos.
Ricky Arriaga, I believe, is the kicker.
Look like they're missing a man now.
Play clock
Broncos.
down to 4. They don't have a timeout. They're fixing to move it back 5 more yards.
Yep.
Again, their penalties have come at tough times here. And now they've decided to put the offense back out on the field. Give them one more shot. Play clock has not been put in there. Now we got a new 25. And now it started. So going to give the offense one more shot at it here. They can still get a first down inside the 10. It's 4th down and 20. Freeman, 3 steps, puts this one up. The go-to guy is Lanier.
Christian Weaver's intercepted it in the end zone. They've been going Weaver's way all night long. He's done a nice job, and now caps off the first half with an interception in the end zone.
Weaver's 5th interception of the season. And again, Sting's back on the field with 10 and just short of 11 seconds left on the clock.
Yell is going to go under center, and Tech City will just take a knee and take this one to the locker room.
Yes, they will.
We've played one half here at Mercer Stadium as both teams go to the locker room. Texas City 15. The Fort Bend Bush Broncos, nothing. Don't go away. We've got halftime entertainment coming up in just a minute.
Lieutenant Kirsten Lindsay. Lieutenant Alexandra Neely. Lieutenant Colonel Alyssa Briones. And Colonel Riley Moss. The Senior and Social Committee members are Leah Mayer, Abigail Forsetti, Stephanie Valdez, and Tierney Zarazua. Tonight, the Single Rex will perform a pop routine to the music selection, Lips Are Moving. The Stingerette Teacher of the Week is Major Westhoff. The Stingerette Spirit Girl of the Week is Mackenzie Godot. The Stingerette Dancer of the Week is Kayla Griffin. The Stingerettes are under the direction of Miss Ashley Hardage. Thank you, Stingerettes. And now to continue our halftime entertainment tonight, we proudly present the award-winning Texas City High School Band. Tonight, the band will perform their 2015 UIL marching show entitled District 12, Act 1, The Uprising. Act 2, The Reflection. And Act 3, The Resurgence. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Alexandria Streeter, Brenda Cervantes, and Kelvin Zhao. Freshman of the Week is Maria Ramirez. Upperclassman of the Week is Cody Carpenter. Color Guard member of the Week is Taylor Moore. Leader of the Week is Kelvin Zhao. Section of the Week is the Baritones. Most improved is Gabriel Porsche. And most spirited member of the week is Trevor Meir. The band is under the direction of Matthew Raines, Benjamin Giat, Casey Watson, Kirsty Giat, and Emma Garcia. Drum majors, you may begin when you are ready. Congratulations to the Story Marching Band for earning a first division of the UIL School Marching Contest today. The advancing to the Early Marching Contest October 24th held at Toledo Park Stadium. The band would also like to take this opportunity to thank the administration of Texas City High School, as well as our fine arts director, Joe Figueroa, and our superintendent of schools, Dr. Steele Sicola. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our school board trustees, as well as our band parents and community supporters. We appreciate the opportunity to support you tonight and wish everyone good luck in tonight's game and a safe ride home.
Texas City Stingrays back on the field as we get ready to start second half action. 15-0, Stings on top.
It's interesting during this time of the year because halftimes are very elongated. You've got the bands in the middle of their UIL routines, and congratulations to the Texas City High School band tonight. Received a 1 at the UIL competition. They'll be advancing on to the next round. So congratulations to Matt Raines and his staff and students as they advance in the UIL marching competition. But it makes halftimes a little longer as both teams do their routines, and now they have the final. Used to you see a little bit at a time, and now this week they're all, last couple of weeks they've all been together.
Boy,
and
talk
good
about
routines.
Football players having to be in shape. These band guys, especially with Saturday football games, these guys have been on the road to Texas City anyways. They performed at 10 o'clock this morning in Cypress at the Berry Center, and have a feeling they hung around to just come over here tonight.
Too bad they don't award the traveling awards on buses. Get your what do you get on Southwest Airlines? Your Rapid Flyers, your Rapid rewards on a bus.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: if the band director gets paid by the hour, I'm going to go hit Matt Raines up for a loan.
I'm telling you, he probably could put his salary together by an hour, and I bet it's probably not what you'd want. Texas, this is kind of deja vu all over again from a couple of weeks ago when we were here at Fort Bend at the other stadium. First half against Elkins. Of course, it was tied at the end of the first half, but you had such a defensive battle there. Here you have the same scenario, although Texas City leading 15-0. But it's been a very defensive battle. Texas City with 162 yards of total offense the first half, and BushBroncos with only 66 yards of total offense the first half. So it's been a very defensive battle. Remember last against that game also, second half was crazy. Both teams bust on the scene, and it was a crazy finish the second half. Lots of offense after halftime. So we'll see how that works tonight. Texas City gets to receive the kickoff here to begin the second half.
Brandon Edmonds and Christian Weaver back deep for Texas City as they await the kickoff from the Broncos. CJL, the freshman quarterback, has gone the distance at quarterback tonight. And most of the work as a running back has gone to Jarvis Ford.
And that's kind of a new wrinkle for us.
Yes,
We're used to seeing Kenny Smith and Xavier Simpson. Simpson's had a few carries tonight, but like you say, Ford has had the majority of the calls. Arriaga gets set to kick this one away to begin our second half. This turned out to be a nice football weather tonight. I think we may be even down into the 80s.
This one going, Brandon Edmonds takes it at the 4. Looking for his blockers, going to cut it up. Got some room across the aisle. We got a flag down as he crosses the 30. Still on his feet, 40, 45, 50. Edmonds gets tripped up as he crosses the 25-yard line down to about the 20. But like we said, it's going to be holding against Texas City. That one's coming back.
Yeah, I couldn't even get excited about it. Watching the kid run down the field. Great run back and had some good blocks out along beside and ahead of him. But when you see that flag fly, pretty well immediately, that one didn't have a chance. Yeah, and like I say, he feels better if he'd have gone ahead and scored. It really felt bad having to call it back.
We have a hitting on the receiving team, number 32, hit Condon out of the 5, will be first down.
Penalty set at the 30-yard line will be assessed from the spot.
Texas City 1st and 10 at their own 20 to start the second half. Stings are ready. CJL. Jarvis Ford a step or two behind him. Ford gets the call. Gets to about the 24, 25-yard line. He'll fall forward there to the 25.
Followed behind the block of Ravion Haynes. Picks up 5 on the carry.
Sports.com with Roger Smith and Ashley Jean Lewis following the action. Tune in Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 14-19 varsity football.
2nd and 5 for Texas City.
Lead off, 14.
2 wideouts to the near side. Yell going to keep it. He comes this way, cuts it up. Going across the grain, across the 30 to the 32. He'll have the first down. 7-yard gain for CJL.
Brandon Skadowski out there kind of running some interference for him too. Nice blocks. And Yale doing a nice job of feeling his way through that run.
Quickly back to it. Jarvis Ford straight up the gut. He gets to the 35. Three yards on first down.
Ford's hat comes off. He's going to have to come out.
Sophomore John McDaniel will take his place, number 22, on 2nd and 7. McDaniel gets the call, trying the left side, cuts it up.
Nice.
Yes.
Second effort.
Absolutely.
By McDaniel. Picks up 10.
Squirts
and first
ahead
down.
at the. I thought he was down at the 40, but that was one of the blockers that gave him a couple extra yards. He picks up the first down at the 44-yard line, and Texas City quickly back ready to go. Ball's on the ground over Yale's head, but Yale falls back, alertly falls on it at the 34. Ten-yard loss on first down.
But more importantly, he's able to fall back on it. Going to try to pick it up. Looked like he's going to try to pick it up, make something happen with it. That's had a defender right on his tail. Ford back in the backfield now.
2 wideouts to the far side on 2nd and 20. Yale going to keep it, cuts it up. He'll go down at the 40. Going to mark it at the 41. Gain of 7. Going to bring up a 3rd and 13.
Number 14, TJ Yale, on the line for Steve Reed.
Texas City with 3 out wide to the far side, and CJL looking to throw, but there's nothing but blue jerseys all over him.
Rashad Powell, along with Amokahuti.
all the way back to the 32-yard line.
Number 52, Walter Wilson.
So Torque Cooper to punt, no rush, has plenty of time. Bit of a line drive will take a Texas City roll. Be down at the 31-yard line. So Bush will start 1st and 10 at their own 31.
37-yard punt for Cooper. So the Broncos will take over, like you say, at the 31-yard line.
And for the Broncos is number 66, Caden Jones. And number 82, Kobe Gold.
New wrinkle. Wildcat snap by Otis Lanier.
Xavier Woodkins gives him a shove, goes out of bounds. Will be a loss of 2 yards.
See, Freeman was split wide on that play. And now they'll switch spots. Lanier will go back to the slot, and Freeman will go back to the quarterback spot. Empty backfield, 3 to the near side, 2 to the far side. He quickly looks to his right, now back to his left. Here in the flat, caught, but only going to be about a yard. We'll call it about a 4-yard gain.
Christian Weaver was right there to make the hit on him.
Actually, we'll call it 5. I realized they had lost a couple on the first play.
Passes complete to number 15, Dante Donahue.
It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Broncos.
Again, same situation, empty backfield. Freeman flips the ball, gets possession. Now going to be brought down, a flag on the play. And I tell you what, Freeman was in the grasp going down, and he took a shot.
I believe that was Charles Hawkins with the first one there.
Holding the back of his neck. He's kind of wandering around back there. I'm not sure if I wouldn't check on him. He is still just kind of wobbling. He is not in good shape. And say, fortunately for him, he's able to get off that field. He did take a shot.
Stingery defense with the hold.
High snap, handled. Nice high kick.
Christian Weaver had called for the fair catch, and then several players
somehow or another he's ended up on the ground
and not getting up. Got an injury timeout on the field. We'll take the break as well with 6:50 to play in the third quarter. Texas City 15, the Bush Broncos nothing.
Timeout, injury timeout for Christian Weaver, and he's walking on his own, but not too gingerly.
Stings will have it 1st and 10 from their own 21. Kenny Smith in at quarterback, hands off to Jarvis Ford. He'll get maybe a yard, and that's it. This is Smith's first time in at quarterback tonight. The sophomore for Texas City.
On the run for Stingery, number 1, Jarvis Ford.
Gain of 1 brings up 2nd down and 9.
Now John McDaniel joins Ford as the running backs in the backfield. Smith, again, the handoff to Ford, following some blocks. He's got a few still on his feet as he crosses the 40, and he'll go out of bounds just before the 45-yard line. We'll see where they mark it, but a nice run.
Chris Thomas with the stop for the Broncos, picks up 22 on the carry, 21 on the carry.
John McDaniel had come in, did a nice job of lead blocking from the backfield for Ford. And the Stings move the chains. 1st and 10 at their own 42. McDaniel coming back in. Ford gets the call again, lowers his head, gets a couple of yards to the 44. Have another Sting getting up slow. Officials call a timeout as Anthony Salazar, he'll go off on his own. He's going to have to go off.
On the tackle for the Broncos.
2nd and 8 for the Stings. Again, Kenny Smith, the quarterback on this series. Sendejas, the up back. Ford standing behind Smith. Ford gets the call again. It's got some room across the 50 down to the 49. It's going to be about a yard shy. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Stings.
Brendan Smith grabbed a hold of him about the 40, 45 and held on for about 6 more yards.
Salazar back in the game for Texas City.
Okay, well, I don't have the numbers and sizes, but Bush has a pretty big defensive front.
Under center on 3rd and short. Smith with a pitch back to Ford. Ford cuts it up. He'll have the first down. As he falls, goes down at the 45. And boy, flags everywhere at the end of that play. I believe that's going to
be a first down. Most likely it's happened after the dead ball. But it's going to still march them back.
Like Dennis said, it is first down, but line of scrimmage is all the way back to the 39-yard line. The Stings own 39, and they had crossed into Bronco territory.
First penalty of the half for Texas City, but it's a big one. Unfortunately, in this situation, you get the first down, but you lose the yard. Yeah. So still looking at 1st and 10 rather than 1st and 25 or something of that matter.
Smith, again, the handoff to Ford, and Ford is tripped up by Smith on the handoff, and he'll lose about 2 yards, maybe 3. Second and 12. Smith checks the sideline and gets the play. This time nowhere to go for John McDaniel. He'll lose a yard.
Followed up first down and a penalty by 2 negative plays in a row. And I got a big 3rd down here, looking at 3rd down and 13.
Texas City with wideouts to either side on 3rd and 13. Smith looking to throw downfield to Carlos. Oh, Carlos Frank thrown behind on the wrong shoulder and almost did a pretty nice job of tipping that ball around before he could find it. Tough break, nice effort by Carlos Frank.
Lots of focus as he tried to tip that thing up to himself.
That'll bring up 4th down. Torque Cooper standing back at his own 24-yard line, ready to punt. Takes a roll for Cooper and the Stings.
Lanier looking like he wanted to pick that one up. Didn't get a lucky bounce, fortunately for Texas City.
Downed at the 24, so that's where the Broncos will take over 1st and 10 at their own 24 with 3:05 to play in the third quarter. Texas City holding on to that 15-0 lead. Behind an 18-yard pass play from CJL to Carlos Frank, and then a 47-yard run by Jarvis Ford. 2-point conversion on that one. That's where we're at, 15-0.
Wade Freeman, 2-step drops, puts it in the flat here in the near side.
Brandon Edmonds right there to make the stop.
Complete for about a 7-yard gain, 6-yard gain.
Dante Donahue. Tackled by number 12, Brandon Edmonds.
Think that Tech City being a little soft on the corners there, going to give them that 6-yard, 7-yard play. Just making sure they're keeping, so far, been making sure they try to keep everything in front of them. Freeman with trips to the near side. Quickly puts this one in the flat. It's in and out of the hands of the receiver, number 15, Dante Donahue.
Xavier Woodkin saw that coming, was trying to get there, just couldn't butt the ball. Falls harmlessly. Incomplete.
Had it set up well. Donahue, the outside receiver, actually had an opportunity to catch that ball and have a blocker in front of him. That would have been a first down, but looking at 3rd down and 5. Man goes in motion from near to far. Gives a fake. Lots of time for Freeman. Freeman.
Nice coverage by the Sting defenders.
And he's going to tuck it and run as he gets to the first down marker on the far side of the field. Very heads-up play. Lots of time for Freeman. Picks up 7 and a Bush for that first down.
Picking up the first down for the Broncos.
Sting defenders were doing a good job on the pass coverage, but can't give any quarterback with speed like that.
That mobile of a quarterback,
Yeah.
exactly. Able to make it all the way across to the other side of the field and still pick up the necessary yardage for the first down. Again, man in motion from the far to the near side. He gets the call. Brings the ball to the near side.
Look at that jersey stretch.
Big time hold, but it didn't go anywhere. Right in front of the linesman there, too.
On the jet sweep was number 12.
Made that 9 look like a 0.
2nd and 7.
Clock down under 2 minutes here. As the ball carrier went out of bounds, it stops at 1:47 here in the third quarter. It has been a pretty quick quarter. Both teams staying mostly on the ground. Broncos here putting this one in the air, complete to Lanier over on the sideline. He stays on his feet and almost slips away. He stays on his feet, but he actually pushed him out of bounds. Gain of 13 and a Bronco first down.
I believe that's Jarrett Charles. Pushed him out of bounds.
Broncos keep it alive. This will be the 6th play of the drive. A couple of first downs mixed in there. They're moving the ball. This drive began at their own 24-yard line. This time, Freeman flushed out of the pocket, got a lot of room to run down the middle. Tries to dive forward.
Right at the first down marker.
Right at the first down marker.
Yep.
See if they give it to him. Looked like his knee might have come down. And they say it did, just short of the marker. So gain of 9. Now we'll have an official timeout, perhaps for a measurement, maybe, what they're looking at.
Oh, now they say first down.
Now they say a first down. So it actually was a gain of 10.
First down, Bush.
And another first down.
First down was picked up by the quarterback.
Back-to-back first down for
Freeman.
the Broncos. It seemed like they've kind of unlocked a little key here. 3 first downs out of the last 4 plays. And now Freeman will run it and is able to pick up a good measure of yards. He just keeps on going.
Isaiah Swede comes out of the bottom of that pile with the ball, but he was down. 2nd and 6.
Now 35 seconds left in the 3rd period. Ball on the ground. Freeman scrambles to the near side. Got lots of room, and
down.
a flag comes down.
There is a flag. Woodkins again trying to get away.
Got a couple of flags came down. That's going to be probably going to be a hold. And again, that holding penalty at that point is a costly penalty. It'll be from that spot, and it'll be back 10 yards.
Offense, that penalty is refused. We have holding on the offense on number 77. That penalty will be accepted. Replay second down.
Official, he's fixing to mark it off the wrong way. Oh, wait.
Yeah, he still is. The referee. Well, let's go the
Going
other
back
way.
to the line of scrimmage, and he'll mark it back.
The 43. So 2nd and 16 for the Broncos from the Texas City 43-yard line.
21 ticks left here in the 3rd quarter. Man in motion to the far side, looking to set up a little bubble screen. And it's set up, but read so well.
Nice job by Texas City's Anthony Salazar, junior defensive end for the Stings, makes the stop. That'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 13.
Freshman Jamal Morris with the catch. That's a big old freshman catching that ball.
Yes, it is.
That's the end of our 3rd quarter. We'll be back with the third and 13 play. Texas City on top, 15-0. That has been a fairly quick 3rd quarter, Ronnie.
Yes.
Both teams, this is the middle of the 2nd possession for the Broncos here of the half. And they actually are on the move. This drive began at their own 24-yard line, and they are now at the Sting 40. And Stings come out of the quarter, and they call a timeout. So we'll be right back. Ninth play of the drive here for the Bush Broncos. 3rd down and 13. Texas City burns a timeout coming out of the 3rd quarter break. We'll see how Bush responds. Freeman has pressure, gets out of that pressure, flag on the play, and he'll keep. Going to be brought down. Gain of about a yard. Tough yard to gain there. Flag sits at midfield here.
Dante Hayes in on the stop for Texas City.
Dante gets up, actually falls back down as if he's injured. I say as if he's injured. He's injured. He goes down. The penalty is holding against the Broncos, and it is declined. And now you have an official timeout for an injury, and we'll take a break with them. Actually, a couple of injured Stings on the play, Dante Hayes and Torque Cooper. Didn't recognize it until Hayes got up and Bush went back on the field ready to play, and Cooper was still on the sideline.
Both.
It's been a crazy start to this 4th quarter,
Yes,
hasn't
it
it?
has.
It's 4th down. Ariaga set to punt.
4th and 12 for the
Texas City
Broncos.
doesn't have anybody deep. Almost got to that one. This one bounces straight to the sideline and out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
So the Stings go back on offense with 11:25 to play in the game, on top 15-0.
That's Bush's pretty well most successful drive of the of the game, actually. That drive started at the 24 and ended about at the 35 or so where they were.
Stings back on the field, led by quarterback CJL, back in the game after that last series. Yell going to keep it, trying the near side. Looked like.
Stays on his feet, ball pops out. This is going to come back, however.
Yep.
No matter what happens, it's going to be a face mask.
Flag on the play.
Yell on the keeper, crosses the 25 as the flag comes out.
I'm not for sure that anyone present at this game, other than maybe a couple of moms in the stands, would not agree with me that this has been a fairly sloppy. Just seemed like nobody can get momentum going.
Right, well,
It's
that's
just,
true. There's
just a little
no rhythm on either
uncanny,
side of the ball.
Really kind of by Texas City standards, a little uncanny. They've seemed pretty consistent so far this year.
They have. Maybe this is their letdown.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
That would be nice.
Because it won't be an easy district to finish.
No, we got Willow Ridge next week, and then there's Santa Fe, and then you finish up with Ridgepoint.
Exactly.
So 1st and 10 from Sting's own 37-yard line. Kenny Smith back in at quarterback. Jarvis Ford trying to break it outside.
Wow.
Gets tripped up from behind there right as he
Tell you
crosses
what.
the 40-yard line.
Ford looks up and starts evaluating how quickly he's going to hit the secondary, and Chris Thomas takes advantage of that little stutter step, if you will.
3 yards on the carry, 2nd and 7 for the Stings. Ford gets the call, nowhere to go. He's going to lose a couple of yards all the way back to the original line of scrimmage at the 37. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Tell you, Rashad Powell has been in the backfield all night long. Been very disruptive. Big number 88 catches Ford that time from behind. It's almost like Texas City has had better luck running straight ahead tonight. Yeah. Normally you have better luck running side to side with the speed that you have, but tonight getting around that corner has been very difficult to achieve.
Smith takes the handoff, going to throw it downfield. Flag comes out. Carlos Frank, the intended receiver.
Tell you what, Frank trying to get around him, and I'm not close enough to the play to see what the hands were doing, but that's
Fender was right there.
Fortuitous flag, I would believe. You could almost go perhaps with holding.
Officials taking a long.
Yes, they are. We've got 9 minutes and 52 seconds left in our ball game. Texas City on top right now, 15-0. It's been that way for quite a while.
We have holding on number 19, and we also have pass interference on number 19. The holding will be refused. The pass interference will be 15 yards per second.
So both holding,
so we got both,
and
holding and pass interference.
So Texas City moves the chains on the penalty. They'll have it first down inside Bronco territory at the Bush 48-yard line. Smith fakes the handoff, throwing it downfield. Carlos Frank is there, just couldn't get more than a fingertip on it.
Tell you what, that ball was laid out nicely.
Yes, it was.
Frank looks like he almost thought maybe he could just tip it up a little bit. Just out of reach. You don't see it very often from this ball club. Seeing them go long, but
Yeah.
2 plays in a row, maybe they like something what they
And
see.
Kenny Smith has done a nice job of laying it out there.
This Bush team has really pressed inside all night.
2nd and 10 now for Texas City. Ford gets the call. Squirts off
Slips
a
out of
tackle,
a couple
still
of
got it.
tackles.
He's at the 30 and finally goes down at the 25-yard line.
How in the world did he get through both of those tackles?
23 yards on the carry for Jarvis Ford. And another Texas City first down. Stings quickly back to the line of scrimmage, ready to go. Ford gets the call again, lowers his head at the line of scrimmage.
And stays on his feet.
Yeah, barrels his way inside the 20 to the 18.
First man he hit is, I believe, is number 12, and he is woozy.
Whoa.
32?
Yeah, yeah. Timeout called. We'll take the break on the injury timeout. 9:13 to play in the game. Texas City on top, 15-0. Both teams back on the field after the injury timeout. Texas City looking at a 2nd and 2 from the Bronco 18-yard line. Kenny Smith been the quarterback most of the way this second half. Has Jarvis Ford and Jared Hernandez in the backfield with him. Ford 2 yards behind Smith. Ford will get the pitch again, coming to the near side, looking for the hole. He's got it, cuts up at the 10, and he'll go down at about the 8-yard line.
Tell you what, I love the movement. When you look up and you see just a wall of white jerseys
Yes.
out in front, you got the man in motion, you got the pulling guard, you got everybody out in front. And Ford just basically picks a lane to run through.
Yes, he does. That moves the chains for Texas City. 1st and goal at the 8. Stings ready to go. 2 wideouts to the far side as Kenny Smith checks the defense. Takes the snap, pitch into Ford. Ford lowers his head.
That's Lanier on the stop.
No gain, looks like, on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Actually, it's not. It's number 1, Chris Thomas. Looked like a 7 from up here.
7.5 minutes to play in the game.
Basically, Texas City also just letting that clock run down.
Yeah, right. Stings offense ready to go. 2nd and goal from the 8. Play clock inside 5 seconds. And Smith now gets the snap. Ford gets the call, trying to stiff arm to 2, gets the 5, touchdown, Texas City.
Touchdown.
Oh, a nice job of Jarvis Ford.
Yes, it is.
Basically
Just
almost stopped. And
so
just
patient.
Absolutely
And
did a
you
nice job.
You worry about him not being able to get up ahead of steam, but when he sees the hole,
Yep.
he puts the afterburners on, find the corner.
6 more on the board for Texas City with the extra point to come. Trevor Pickett ready to attempt the extra point from the hold of CJL. Kick is up, and it's good.
It's good.
7:09 to play in the game. Texas City 22, the Bush Broncos nothing. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a minute. Pickett with the ball on the tee, ready to kick off. after the 8-yard Jarvis Ford run, his second touchdown of the night. Texas City 22-0 over the Broncos. This kick short, high, taken at the 22-yard line.
About a 12-yard return up to the 33.
I believe that was Carlos Frank making the stop along with Jesse Sendejas. We thank you for joining us here on the Texas City High School Media Technology class presentation of Texas City Stingery football tonight, helped out by a couple of Stingery alumni from that class, David Wilson and Tyler Parrish.
They're doing it all tonight.
Absolutely, every bit of it.
Texas City scoring drive, 9 plays, 78 yards. A little different from the first 2 scoring drives in the first half of 1 play.
Yeah,
each one play.
A couple of them, right.
So now the Broncos will go to work. Otis Lanier, man in motion. Freeman keeps, got a lot of room. Big gain. I want to say probably one of the longest of the night for the Broncos.
Christian Weaver and Xavier Woodkins force him out of bounds, but not before he gets into Stingery territory. Going to mark it at the 48.
25-yard pickup for Freeman. Lanier again in motion. This time he's going to get the ball out on the flat. Pass complete, gain of 10. Still on his feet, slips out of the tackle. He'll be drug out of bounds on the far sideline.
I believe that's Brandon Edmonds on the stop.
17 yards on the pitch, catch, and carry. So back-to-back first downs for the Broncos, and they are moving here. Just the third play of the drive, and they're at the Sting 30-yard line. Freeman's going to keep. Slips out of one tackle. Waving that ball around, just kind of daring the defense to slap it away. Picks up 4 down to the 26.
He does not get out of Zach Henry's grasp. Henry makes the stop.
Broke the string of first downs, though.
4-yard gain makes it 2nd and 6.
Clock ticking down, 6 minutes and 10 seconds. And this really is one for Texas City. You just want the clock to keep on running. Bush pushing the tempo a little bit. 3 steps, Freeman looks, has a man, but just throws short. Intended for wide receiver number 3, DeMarco Grice. Just short.
Coming to the game for Broncos is number 66, Caden Jones.
It's good to see Cooper and Hayes back in the game. Both of them left for injuries a few plays ago, right as the fourth quarter was getting started. Good to see them back on the field. 3rd down and 7 for the Broncos. And the incomplete pass stops the clock so the Broncos are not in any hurry to get this play started. Lanier will go in motion to the far side. Freeman looks away.
He won't get away from Charles Hawkins.
Nice coverage. All receivers downfield has a Sting in their pocket.
And Hawkins had a Bronco in his.
Lots of a yard on the play, brings up 4th down. And the clock ticks, 5 minutes, 22 seconds. Play clock just been chopped in. Broncos getting the play from the sideline. All the way down to 4 on the play clock. Freeman gets out of the rush, puts this one up in the end zone. It's going to be caught right at the corner of the end zone by Otis Lanier. 4th down and 7 from the 27-yard line, and it's a touchdown.
Wade Freeman was complete to number 7, Otis Lanier.
So just like that, Broncos, I tell you what, it looked like they were just kind of stalling a little bit, running out of gas, looking at 4th down, and they punch it in from 27 yards out.
Is up.
And the kick after is good. So our score, Broncos 7, Stings 22, with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in our ball game.
Texas City with the good hands, folks up front, ready for this kickoff, looking for the onside kick. Gets the high bounce and taken by Bush. Carlos Frank.
Flag on the play.
Casanova Bradley steps in front of the onside kick. Ball had gone far enough. I'm not sure what everybody's waiting on. Oh, I do see a flag. Looks like there's been offsides. Unbelievable.
Wow, all the way on the far side.
Broncos cannot catch a break.
Right in front of the, oh, there's one here too. I saw the one on the far side and didn't see this one here.
Perfectly executed. I did not see who was offsides. Might have been Casanova, but however, tell you what, Sting receiver was waiting to receive it.
Yes, he was. So back it up 5. He'll kick off from the 35.
Bradley stepped right in front of it. That was beautiful. Looking for the same thing again. And this one is not received, but it goes out of bounds.
Flag on the play.
Bush had the shot at it.
Wow.
And it went out of bounds.
Tell you what, 2 very close plays for Bush.
I tell you what, Texas City just dodged a couple of bullets right there.
So, wow, they do dodge a bullet. However, with the ball going out of bounds, the Stings will take over with some great field position at the 43-yard line.
43 is exactly right. As Kenny Smith brings the offense back on the field. 1st and 10 Stings, like Dennis said, from the Bronco 43. McDaniel gets the call. Nice, tough run by McDaniel.
Keeping his feet churning.
Across the 40 down to the 39. Nice, tough run by the sophomore running back for Texas City.
Javian Smith with the tackle for the Broncos.
Done by number 22, John McDaniel.
Stings again, just taking their time. Play clock just been chopped in at 20 now. Game clock at 4 minutes and 13 seconds. Again, content just to stand and let it run. Now down under 6 here.
Handoff again to McDaniel. He'll get to the 40, and that'll be it.
Ball comes out, but forward progress had been stopped.
Going to bring up a 3rd down, 3rd and 7.
McDaniel stays in at the fullback, at the tailback. It's going to be a long 3 minutes of final football. 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Stings back ready to go again. Play clock just now under 5. Smith takes the snap. John McDaniel will get it again. He'll just go straight forward. It's to the 36. That's going to bring up a 4th and 3. I don't expect to see a field goal kicker, but here comes Cooper back on the field, along with about 4 or 5 other stings.
The punter comes on the field, but he doesn't come in to punt.
Exactly, that is right. Smith will go under center. Jarvis Ford in the backfield now on 4th and 3. And now timeout going to be called by the Broncos. We'll take the break as well. 2:23 to play in the contest. Texas City on top 22-7. Both teams back on the field after the Bush timeout. Stings looking at a 4th and 3 from the Bronco 36-yard line.
Broncos have a man deep.
Kenny Smith is under center. Now he'll step back.
Maybe just trying to draw him off sides. We'll see.
Cooper goes in motion. And Jarvis Ford gets the call. He's got the first down as he crosses the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Caught from behind. Chris Thomas. Maybe you almost may say makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
That's pretty safe to say that was a pretty important first down right there. Broncos with 2 timeouts left as the clock goes under 2:10 and counting.
I've never really watched closely, but it just seems like it's a long time before the referees chop the play clock in.
Texas City ready to go.
Still got 8 on the clock, right?
Waits on the clock, takes the snap now. Jarvis Ford. It's across the 25 down to the 24. Gain of 6. Call it 5. Gain of 5 will make it 2nd and 5. Want to remind you, next week, big week in Texas City as the Stingarees take on Willow Ridge. Homecoming, 7 o'clock at Stingaree Stadium next week. Don't forget the parade Wednesday night, the 21st, at 6 o'clock with the pep rally to follow. And then Friday night, 7 o'clock, Stingaree Stadium. Texas City takes on the Willow Ridge Eagles. 2nd and 5 for the Stings as the clock sitting right at 1 minute and counting. John McDaniel gets the call, cuts it up at the 20, 15, still on his feet, spins out of a tackle to 10. And he'll go down at the 7-yard line, and that will do it. Nice run by McDaniel.
First down is picked up by number 22, John McDaniel.
Texas City will have to run one more play.
19, Jaden Smith.
Got to snap the ball one more time unless Bush is going to burn their timeouts. Don't expect that to happen with a score of 22-7.
Texas City is going to let it run down. 4 seconds on the play clock. They'll probably call a timeout, and they do. We'll take the break as well with 18 seconds to play. Texas City 22, the Broncos 7. Both teams back on the field after the timeout. Trevor Pickett has set the tee down on the near hash mark at the 15-yard line. Looks like he's going to attempt the 25-yard field goal. C.J. Yell with the hold. And they're not even going to try and kick it. Yell just takes it and goes to the ground with it.
I say clock stopped for a second. I'm not sure that. And
now it's back running again.
And now the official stops it.
Texas City called a timeout. With 6 seconds left, we'll keep it here.
Not for you. Figuring he lost about 5 yards, 7 yards on that one. Are you going to try to set it up? Yep. Pickett staying out there. So he's setting the tee at the 22. We'll attempt a 32-yarder. At least that's what we assume.
Yeah.
Snap was on the outside of the body.
It was. Yale didn't have any chance to get the ball down. So wisely just laid on it. So Stingarees keep possession. I was just giving Pickett some experience here kicking a field goal.
Well, 6 seconds left. You may be in this situation. You want to see what you can do.
So a 32-yard field goal attempt appears to be coming from Pickett. Again, from the near hash mark. Pickett's kick is up, no rush. And it's one referee says it's good, the other one's just looking at it.
And that's the clock runs to 0. That's the end of the ballgame. Guys didn't even fire out on the play.
No, they didn't. Final score with the extra point good. Texas City 25, the Bush Broncos 7. Again, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Friday night at Stingery Stadium, 7 o'clock, as the Stingeries take on the Willow Ridge Eagles. Texas City goes to 5-2 on the season, 4-0 in district. Have a great week, everybody.